Hey, it's Chris Harris Jr. I want to say go YOLO. Congrats on the super success. Keep winning all those awards. You are about to blow up, and keep it up, man. Why is the rum gone? Go YOLO.
YOLO Podcast. I'm Wiggins, and with me is Uncle Phil, the founder of Yolo Rum, and our guest today. Man, Phil, we always have the best guests. It's either an investor or it's just someone with a cool story, a crazy background, and today we got both. This guest is awesome.
He's the epitome of YOLO. He's a professional athlete. He's a entrepreneur, but he has overcome a lot of adversity to be the man that he is today, and we're really honored to have Nolan Carroll with us.
How you guys doing, man?
Welcome.
We're doing
good. Thank you.
It was exciting, Nolan. I felt like I was getting ready for ESPN, like an interview, and just, I mean, I'm a huge sports fan. We're huge football fans, but just to be able to talk to you and set up for this, it was exciting. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, you started off playing ball in Maryland, right?
Yeah, I played at the University of Maryland. I was there for 5 years, and then after that, 2010, I was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. Played there for 4 years. Signed with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2014. Was there for 3 years, and then my last year was in.
That's awesome. And so, I mean, that in of itself, that journey to get there, I mean, it's a business there. So, I mean, is that where you learned the love of business? Did you learn it from playing in that sport, just to that, because it's not just a sport, there's so much to it.
Yeah, I think it was more so the structure and the routine that really translates into business. And then when I started being involved in business and seeing the outside of it from or being in the football perspective and the business perspective, I was able to see now that football players are a brand in themselves. You know, we're a business, we just don't really realize it because we're playing for a team. So we see that as our business, but not necessarily the individual. And I think nowadays what you're starting to see is guys are really branding themselves. And the best example I can think of right now, at the top of my head, is Tom Brady. He's branded himself so well outside of football that his name carries just as much weight as an NFL football player. You know, he can be Tom Brady, and you associate him with Aston Martin, mattress company he has, his own sports nutrition, drinks and stuff.
And that weird cologne that he posed for, whatever that was back in the
But the guy, you just see guys now are branding themselves as individuals outside of the sport because it's so hard when you compare football to basketball. Basketball guys, you always see their face. You can recognize them even if it's a guy that's not starting. Football, our face is blocked by helmets, so when you can hear somebody's name, but you can't put the face to the name. So it gets hard. But now that you're seeing guys branching out and branding themselves, it makes it easier for guys to sell themselves, at least from the football aspect of it.
So when did you start your entrepreneurial endeavors? Like, were you a kid or later in life? When did you get bitten by the bug?
I think I got bitten by the bug my second year in the NFL. I had a couple of my friends that I met out and about that managed businesses, and it's curious. We had that time of like 6 months to ourselves. I would just hang around. Didn't really hang around my teammates too much because guys were excited to hang out with these business guys and see how they operated from day to day. I would only see them here and there, so never really knew the ins and outs of an actual business because I've been so busy with just football. So as I started hanging around them and seeing how they operate, see how they got to talk to their employees, what meetings they have to set up, tax stuff they have to file, I started getting more intrigued by it because it was a business that they had built, similar to what you're doing now with Yolo Rum. Seeing that business ins and outs and seeing the headaches with it all, those are things that entice me about a business because you want to be able to build your own thing at the end of the day and have that pride that, you put your all into it, same as football, and you've gotten great results from your hard work, dedication, and preparation from your business, and you're able to see it thrive and grow and expand and become popular because of the amount of work that you put into it. So that's what really enticed me about it, because my work ethic and the way I prepare and study the stuff I'm doing on the field is the same way I'm applying it off the field. I'm just doing it not in the physical way anymore. It's just more the mental aspect, and then finding the best ways to execute them.
Is that because of, I mean, you're from a military family. Was that instilled in you a little bit as well, like to where that affected you even to where you're an adult, from child to adult, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest X factor between me and a lot of other athletes. I think because I had that background structure, discipline, I had discipline. Oh my goodness! But to be able to have that at a young age really helped me a lot down the road for anything that I've done, whether it's sports or it's been music or anything that I've had an interest in. It's all been based back to how my parents instilled the values that I need to be able to survive by myself and be respectful to others and respect myself too. So I really appreciate them for that.
Just a quick question: who's boss at home? You got the lieutenant, you got the master sergeant. Who's big boss at home? Because in my home, I know who the big boss is, and it's not me.
Yes, it's definitely Lieutenant Commander Carroll, Jennifer Carroll. Definitely. You just hear the whole name. I just said it all, and it just sounds intimidating. She's definitely that. She's intimidating.
Yeah, she's an incredibly accomplished person, and you're incredibly blessed to have her for your mother, both of your parents. But she's an amazing person. So it's like the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I definitely want to go into, because you have a few businesses and you even have your own foundation. Did you start, so you got the entrepreneurial bug, did you start doing the business and these endeavors during that 6-month hiatus, and then you would go back to the game of sport, or were you trying to balance it out all year long? Because, I mean, anyone in business will tell you it's a 24/7 job. So did you wait until after you were done playing? How did you do that?
Yeah, I really waited until after I was done playing, because there's no way you can really keep your mind on business and the game at the same time. Doing it all by yourself, it's mentally it's not possible, and physically it'll wear you down as well. So at first it was really when I saw my mom, because she had been involved in business for many years. So I saw what she liked to do, didn't like to do in business. But then it wasn't until about maybe my third or fourth year in the league where my mom came to me with this idea about my foundation. It's the Nolan Carroll Foundation, and I'd always been giving back to my high school, but I always tried to do it quietly. I never tried to get accolades for it. I never tried.
Well, that's not why you do those things. Yeah, you don't do that. Yeah.
Never. So I was always donating. I'd always donate to my high school football team, or the girls team, guys team. I remember I gave the girls weightlifting team weights, but they could use it for everybody. But it's the fact that we had these weights at the Dolphins facility they were getting ready to throw away, and I asked him if I could take it and give it to my high school to donate, and he said, yeah, no problem. So I loaded it up in the truck. I drove 4 hours up to Jacksonville, dropped it off, and I drove right back. And that was just one of the things I wanted to just do for my high school, because my high school grew me. My high school made me what I am really today, from the values that I learned from my coaches, my teachers, different students in my school. It really helped me out. So for me, I want to be able to give back as much as possible to let those kids know that we are just like you. Don't look at us as these gods or these special beings. We were 16, 17-year-old teenagers like you. Went through these same hallways. We played on the same field. We got the same scholarships that can be offered to you, and we got to the NFL or did professional sports just like you. So
But you have to do that work. Yeah.
definitely have to do that work, and so I don't want them to be discouraged, because Green Cove Springs is a tiny town outside of Jacksonville, and a lot of colleges, they got to pass through our school, but not a lot of them stop at our school. They just keep passing through, going to Jacksonville or going to find the kid that's in the metropolitan area. So kids kind of lose confidence in themselves. If they are doing well, but they get passed by somebody else, they feel discouraged. They think, well, I'll never make it out of here, my situation, whatever it is. So I'm really there to let them know that you can be whatever you want. It doesn't matter what your situation is. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are, because there's been people that's had worse and made the best life that they possibly can have from, basically not having a chance, everybody counting them out. So my foundation is really geared towards that. And once I started giving stuff, donating to my high school, that's when my mom she just decided let's go ahead and just do a foundation and let's just cover the whole area of Jacksonville, and that's what we're doing right now.
And then so what about the businesses themselves now? Like, I mean, what do you focus on now because you have your own app? Is that right?
Yeah, it's called Yootro, YOOTROO.
Is that how you found Yolo Rum? I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was joking with Sam. I was like, he was probably typing in the name of his app, and that's how he found YOLO.
No. I think it was around the same time I invested with you guys, and I found the name. Well, my business partner, I got in it with him, because I love the concept so much. Because he explained it to me. He explained the idea to me. I just thought, wow, this is something that works for not only the businesses but the consumers as well. So what Yootro does, you guys got me there.
Sorry.
What Yootro does, just think of Groupon but better. And we pay customers to basically view ads of businesses, not necessarily shop, but just to view them. So if you wanted to go on one day and you look at 10 businesses, we give you 10 cents for each one of those businesses that you look at. So you get $1 just for playing on your phone. You play games for 4 or 5 hours a day. Why not just get on there and get a couple bucks? I just felt like it was good because the customers are getting paid, but at the same time, the businesses, they're getting these people to view their businesses based on the fact that, oh man, I'm going to get paid for watching the businesses. But in the same effect, the businesses aren't paying thousands of dollars every single month to get advertising from these SEO companies that they're horrible. They just trick you into thinking, oh, we have a whole bunch of people that are coming to your site, looking at, they give you all these fake numbers, but it never translates to sales because they're just making these numbers up. At least with Yootro, people are downloading. We've had earlier this year, we had 30,000 people download the app in like 2 days.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was good, but it made our app crash, which, I mean, it's a good and bad thing, but the fact that that many people were on it and the businesses they only had to pay less than whatever they had to pay monthly for a marketing person or a firm or somebody to do imaginary work for them. They get the benefit of having all these people looking at these businesses. They have a bunch of eyes. That's what it is in marketing. It's just getting a lot of eyes on your product to sell. And that's what we're really doing for them, have a fraction of the cost of their actual marketing stuff.
Are you looking for an amazing rum? Well, we're in more places than ever before in Colorado, and you can find Yolo Rum right here at Hazel's Beverage World. This is not your father's liquor store. Hazel's Beverage World has over 36,000 square feet, and it's the 3rd largest liquor store in Colorado. Locally owned, locally managed, Hazel's might look like a large chain polished store, but they're not. Just like Yolo, they're a Colorado proud company. So the next time that someone asks you, why is the rum gone? Tell them YOLO and get to Hazel's Beverage World, 28th and Walnut in Boulder.
I don't know if you saw the picture, Phil. I think I showed it to you. We posted on the social for YOLO, but Nolan was holding a bottle of YOLO Silver. And, I mean, even that, I was like, oh, he gets branding. It's so awesome. I love it. I was like, he knew exactly how to do that. And how did you discover YOLO Rum? I mean, we're based in Florida. Uncle Phil made sure that we were out there. But how did you?
We're based in Colorado, but we're super strong. Our second home.
Yeah, our second home.
Is Florida.
Yeah. And so Phil made sure that we were out there. How did you find us? Was it out there? Or?
Well, it was. I remember I was at this restaurant. I can't remember what restaurant, but I remember like seeing it at the corner of my eye. But at the time, I ordered Woodford Reserve because I was getting an old fashioned. So I looked at it, I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. And just so happens that there's a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, like probably 2 minutes down the street. It's called Yolo.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, oh, it might be the restaurant that made the rum, and I didn't think anything of it. And I was on I can't remember what site it was for, I guess investment or crowdfunding. I can't remember exactly the site, but I saw it again. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, well, is it the restaurant or is it the people in Colorado? But either way, I said, this looked like something I wanted to invest in. I wanted to get into liquor, not necessarily to drink it, but the fact of like investing and owning a piece of a liquor company is something that kind of got the idea from Turtle and Entourage. He made it so enticing, and when I saw the opportunity, I was like, let me
Turtle
see how
tequila,
this is.
totally.
Yeah, Avion, yeah. So I said, let me try it out and see how it is. And just seeing just the updates and how you guys engage with every investor, that's something that kind of shocked me because I thought it was just where you invest and that's it. But you guys are really engaging, letting everybody know about updates, and I was really impressed by that. And that's what kept me kind of enticed about it. And I was always hitting you guys up, but I knew you got busy. But that was something I was drawn to, was the fact that you guys are so engaging as a company to just let us know the direction, your vision for not just yourself, but the whole company and everybody else involved is really, really cool.
Thank you, Nolan. That's a huge compliment,
Totally.
especially coming from you. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Here's the best part of the Turtle and Entourage reference is that Sam, no joke, Sam is friends with Mark Cuban on Facebook and became friends with him, before Mark Cuban blew up. Is that right, Sam? Like before he became... It was more before Facebook, but
yeah.
it's not a page like, it's not any of that. It's an actual friend of Mark Cuban. So to me, I'm a huge fan of Entourage. So to me, it's a total like full circle moment right there. I was like, so it's just, I loved it when he was on there. So he was on there trying to buy Turtles tequila, but
Oh,
it was,
yeah?
yeah. So it's just hilarious. Well, I don't think we want to lose contact with you at all. I mean, obviously you're an investor, so that's not the case. Would you be all right if we reached out to you and kept doing these Skype interviews just to kind of get updates about where you're at and what you're doing?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's not a problem at all.
You're going to be traveling internationally. What is that for?
Yeah, well, it's my mom's 60th birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
She wants to go to China, and I'm going. So we're going as a family. Me, my dad, brother, sister, and her husband. We're all going out there for a week. It's something my mom she's always wanted to do, and the fact that now I'm not playing right now. I got all this time to myself, and I'm appreciative of that because I want to spend more time with my family because they've sacrificed so much for me while I was playing. To spend this time now and be able to appreciate it is just so valuable. So I don't mind. I don't like flying too much anymore, so this trip is gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, that's a long one, too.
But I mean, it's for my mom. It's for her birthday, so
Yeah, good for
I'm
you.
definitely gonna enjoy it.
No, that's all.
Can we speak really quick? I just wanted to ask you because I think you know more about. I think that YOLO represents a lot of things for a lot of people, and as a pro athlete, you faced adversity, especially battling through injury at two critical times in both your high school career and your pro career, and coming back, doing the training, getting back to better than ever. How do you apply that as being an entrepreneur? Because as you know, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up, right?
Definitely, yeah. For me, it's always you always look at the situation, but you never get down on yourself for it. You never say, "Why did this happen to me? Why didn't it happen to this person?" You're always blaming everybody else to make yourself feel good internally, but yet it just brings you down more and more. So the first time I broke my leg, I remember just telling myself, "Man, just it's happened already. You can't rewind. You can't get in the time machine and change what happened. This already happened. So now everything is mental. You got to go through the rehab. You got to figure out how long that process is. Once you go through it, you just attack it every single day. You're going to have days where it sucks, but you just got to keep going because you're going to get through this. This is only temporary. This isn't permanent. You're not going to stay down forever. You're not going to be in a cast forever. Your life's not over. You still got scholarships, whatever the case may be. So I still found a way to have that drive to keep me going instead of playing the pity role and having people feel sorry for me because of the situation and what happened. And the same thing happened again, when I was in the NFL. I was in my contract year and I broke my ankle. And I was playing well that year, amazing. And same thing again. I remember being in a locker room by myself, just thinking, all right, what do you have to do next week? You got to get casted. You're going to have surgery. After that happens, now you got to start trying to find the way to wiggle your toes and your feet. Just try and keep that grip in your toes and that feeling good. Try and lift your leg up as much as you can to keep your quad strong. All those little things I was processing in my mind just so I could be ready for it because I knew the road ahead was going to be rough. And the same thing in business. Not everything that you do is going to be smooth sailing. I know too. If you're going to find opposition, you're going to find bumps in the road. Unexpected things are going to come at you and you're like, man, why is this happening? But at the same time, you got to embrace it. You got to embrace that process that you're going through and love it. You got to know that every single day, every single experience is going to make you stronger for whatever else you need to overcome coming down the road. And you'll appreciate it more when you get to a point where you've done everything you can and you see the fruits of your labor actually taking place. And then you'll be able to look back on those experiences and say, you know what? That wasn't that bad as what I thought it was. You know, I never thought I would get through that just looking back at it, but here I am now. And that's the mindset you got to have, is to just keep pushing, keep learning, keep growing, keep doing what you need to do to accomplish your goal.
Oh my God! That's just
You're inspirational.
inspiration.
For sure.
Well, professional football player, entrepreneur, investor in Yolo Rum. Nolan, we definitely want to make sure we have you on the Yolo podcast on regular. Your stories are just inspiring, and it's just cool to talk to you and know that you're representing Yolo Rum to the fullest out there in Florida.
And
Definitely.
congratulations on your foundation, the Nolan Carroll Foundation. I really commend you for that. That's a big part of service and paying back to the community. I think it's a big part of being a responsible entrepreneur, and congratulations on your foundation.
No, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys too. Definitely hooking me up, man, and having me come on here in the podcast to speak with you guys. Finally, you know,
Yeah.
so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's nice to finally know you. We've been talking about you for months,
forever.
and we've been bragging about
Yeah.
you, so it's good to finally make this connection.
Oh my God! Well, Nolan, we appreciate it. We'll be talking to you soon. Before we go, we just need you to say one thing. Why is the rum gone?
Why is the rum gone? YOLO.